Hello students, the purpose of this video is to ensure that you feel comfortable with the multiplication of polynomials, and we're going to start out by multiplying two binomials. When you're working with two binomials and you're trying to multiply them together, you can do what is called the FOIL method. FOIL is an acronym and it stands for first, outer, inner, and last. And so I'll try to do this with colors to help you follow along. So when I look at my first terms, I'm looking at, and you see my little pink dots, the first terms of each binomial. If I do 2x times 5x, I get 10x squared. If I look at my outer terms, I'm going to do this with a yellow dot. I'm looking at the outermost terms on both of my polynomials, 2x times 3, and that gets me 6x. If I look at my innermost terms, which I'll do that with the orange dot, I'm looking at my inner terms, 1 and 5x, and when I multiply those together, I get 5x. And when I look at my last terms, I'll do that in purple. I'm looking at the value 1 and the value 3, and I multiply those together to get 3. And then lastly, I'm going to combine my like terms and write my final expression, 10x squared plus 11x plus 3. Again, this process works for any binomials that are being multiplied together. You can also do something that I like to call the box method. You may be familiar with this method. You make the number of rows and columns for each polynomial, and you put each term within one of the rows or columns, and it doesn't matter which term goes on which side. And then you go through and you multiply them together. So 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times 1 is 5x. 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times 1 is 3. And then same thing, you would combine your like terms, and again, you end up with your 10x squared plus 11x plus 3. The box method works wonderfully when you're multiplying polynomials that are larger than binomials, so working with trinomials or anything higher. It really helps you to stay organized. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this using the box method. So I'm going ahead and giving each term a row, and then I'm going to give each term for the other polynomial a column. Alright, and there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and start my multiplication process. 3 times 3 is 9, and that's x to the 6th, minus 3x to the 5th, minus 9x cubed, minus 6x to the 5th, plus 2x to the 4th, plus 6x squared, and then 3x cubed minus x squared minus 3. And I'm going to want to go ahead and begin combining my like terms. So let's see, I'll use this in blue. So I have my 9x to the 6th, 9x to the 6th, and then I have a 5th and a 5th. So that is not minus 9x to the 5th. And I have a 4th, so that's plus 2x to the 4th. And I have a cubed and a cube, that's minus 6x cubed. I have 6x squared and negative x squared, which is 5x squared. And then I have my minus 3 on the very end. And that is my final polynomial. So great way to stay organized when we utilize our box method. Now, conjugates is a special case when we have two binomials that look exactly the same but opposite signs. So when these are in the form of a plus b and a minus b, I've given you numeric examples here at the bottom, like 3x plus 2 and then 3x minus 2. You see they look exactly the same. The only difference is that their signs are different. These are super cool because they always tend to create a difference of squares. So when you do the FOIL process, what happens is the outer and inner terms will always cancel out, and your first and your last will always be perfect squares. So it's pretty cool. If we look at 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2 and solve this out, we end up getting 9x squared minus 6x plus 6x minus 4. As you see, when I go to combine the middle terms, they cancel out. So my final answer is 9x squared minus 4. And again, super cool because both terms are perfect squares. So I have a little question here. I encourage you to pause this video and think about it. But how would you go about this binomial? How would you go and solve this? So notice that it's saying 3x minus 7 is all squared. And so that means that you want to write this binomial twice. 3x minus 7 times 3x minus 7. You want to beware of not distributing in your exponent. Keep in mind that our exponent properties and radical properties we learned were only true for monomials. They were not true for any type of polynomials with multiple terms in it. So you can't distribute that squared, but instead you would write that binomial twice. You can go ahead and FOIL that out. And as a final solution, 9x squared minus 42x plus 49. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here with some practice. I'm actually going to make another separate video that goes ahead and solves these for you. But I encourage you to jot these down, start working on them before you proceed to the next video in the series. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.